stage, struck back in the Mobile Masters group stage. We'll see if it's going to be any different in this first game drafting.
Yeah, starting off, Liquid ID doesn't want to deal with Wasa's Phobius, so they banned that right out of the way. For the other hand, I think banning out Fabian alone would be one of the game plans. So taking out that Fanny, taking out Matilda once again, I think still opened up Loyi. Could be a really strong hero for Yeheskel. I think one of his most popular heroes as well. But yeah, they will take it out in the end.
So it's going to be Liquid ID that takes out the Loyi. All right. The Suyo is still up. Suyo and Harith, again, you are looking to initiate a potential trade. None of it is a winning trade if you're Papa Supermassive, so you have to pick your poison, right? So they ban a Zusin. Now they are they start the conversation. Suyo or Harith for Liquid ID. Usually teams just go for Suyo first pick.
Yeah, Suyo just secure that jungle, secure the fast wave clear, secure the fast rotational speed, secure the side lane split push. And Fabian also said this hero is just too OP. So if it's open, just snap pick that up. I think this is the current meta. It's always Suyo in the jungle. 76%. At the start of today, I think that number has risen after the game from Falcon Philippines or the other streams as well. But then again, Papa Supermassive responds with a Granger pick, so Team Liquid ID might be able to pick up that Harith for themselves. And I think from a Granger to Harith lane to lane standpoint, Harith will definitely overcome this Granger just because of that dashes.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised as well that they take the Granger. Maybe if they took the Harith, they are worried about too much magic damage if they do consider a Joy. Although the Alpha is still up on the table, which I felt like would have been a pretty good pick if we can see into the future, right? Liquid ID with that Cho and Hilda reveal instantly, just a very honest opening sequence, not really hiding much in the tank. They're just letting Papa Supermassive know, we're gonna play fast, we're gonna run at you hard, can you hold us back?
Yeah, Papa Supermassive locked in Lucas. I think Moji really likes this hero a lot. I think he popped off really well against YBG as well as Influence Rage with the Lucas alone. So going to the second phase of that draft, they have their eyes set on Yeheskel. I think one of the other heroes they should ban out is either the Harith, so that Xiao has a really nice lane without contest. And you have already a lot of early split rotations from that Jawhead, who has a lot of presence around that jungle as well. Team Liquid ID secures the ban on the blue, so that leaves maybe a CC would be a possible ban for them unless they flex Lucas into the XP.
Yeah, and I do like the ban on the Valentina because Papa Supermassive, they experienced firsthand the Valentina into Lucas, even though it's not a direct matchup, but the Valentina was a big deterrent to the Lucas, and it also kind of shows that Papa Supermassive, they don't really want to consider Valentina for After Dark. Selena ban, CC ban, like you called it, Churros. I think right now Papa Supermassive, they go for the Badang.
Totally missed that.
Keeping After Dark's hero for last.
I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up the Novaria again, because they like to combo that with the Granger Rhapsody. But then it doesn't really make a lot of sense because you have so much backline engaged divey heroes from TLID, like the Cho, the Hilda. Novaria is not going to be safe. So last two picks is going to be the Harith, of course, like you called it, Husky. And for the mid lane, might be the Farsa though here.
I think there's a good chance. Honestly, for Farsa is not too bad of an idea here. Farsa, Heath, both decent picks. So Farsa is going to be what their Hesky will go for. Insane amount of magic damage. Fire Mist as a response from Papa Supermassive. We did see After Dark play it multiple times. So honestly, both teams getting a bit of their comfort pick, right? Obviously, Bloodsphat on the Jawhead, Wasa on the Badang. I think Wasa does have a bit more to prove. Not many players have played that the Lucas jungle so far in SPS. I know Susujin just played it earlier today in their first series. So let's see how this is going to pan out.
Well, we're jumping into the game. Draft is set, and I gotta say, Papa Supermassive's draft reminds me of the very first day of the first stream of Stream C, where they faced off against Influence Rage. That is the death ball that we know Papa Supermassive to be. But the question is, who do they send to control the side lane pressure that is going to be so impactful for this game? As we're jumping into the Land of Dawn, TLID versus Papa Supermassive, game number 1. Things can't be changed anymore. Draft is set. We're jumping straight in. Husky, what do you think about the death ball composition from Papa Supermassive, and do you think TLID prepared for this?
I think they definitely have made some preparations, right? First of all, great late game scaling, the very fast draft that can smother the pressure from Papa Supermassive with this Hilda, Cho, and Suyo. So that's something that Papa Supermassive needs to be aware of. We've seen, yeah, like, right off the bat, you see Aran, he's just going to proxy the wave. He's going to get punished though. Able to run away.
Already right there.
No sprint.
Oh, bottom side,
Aran.
top side. Oh man. First blood goes over to Bloodspet though, but bottom side, Witty in a spot of trouble. We'll be able to Shunpo out of the way. But then again, just a lot of early game rotations and TLID looking to just hunker down on that gold lane.
All right, so this does change things a little bit, right? Like Papa Supermassive, they make some adjustments. They punish Aran for trying to proxy the wave. So Aran goes down. First blood actually for Bloodspet. We would loved it if it was for Wasa, but it's okay. They force Witty to back off also. So, in this case, I think TLID actually got the bigger win, because with Witty interrupting the wave earlier on, Xiao is completely zoned out from his wave.
Yeah, take a look at that. All three members of Papa Supermassive wants to find an angle onto Aaron Shiki, but he is the untouchable, still untouchable as of now. We'll see how things played out, but I noticed that Fabian is actually using Impure Rage on this Suyo. No wonder he got that 8-minute level 15 really quickly. A lot of teams are opting to go for the killing spree, but I think Impure Rage really helps with that jungle clear.
And a bit of extra burst too. Papa Supermassive, I think Bloodspet been really trying to keep tabs on where Witty is. And the fact that now Aran has been temporarily shut down, Bloodspet can focus his efforts more towards the mid lane, play with After Dark.
We're coming down to the mid side, trying to zone out Papa Supermassive away from the turtle. Bloodspet still no level 4, but Wasa's locked in, ready to go. You've got Aran trying to find an angle onto that back line, opening up that brushes. Turtle already pulled over by Bloodspet, but Fabian's already there. Moji wants to take that orange buff before he comes into the fray. But then again, it might be a little bit too late as Aran tries to go in from that backside, trying to get a little bit of damage done on Moji, but the fist crack will hit. That's a better airstrike coming in from Yeheskill. Moji in the spot of bottom right there, Witty forced to use a flicker after dark. We're sealed at seal, but not enough to take him out. As Moji steals away with the retribution on that turtle. Aran goes down by the hands of Bloodspet, and Fabian's next on the chopping block, but he will get his Sever out of there.
Very well done by Papa Supermassive. Bloodspet doing God's work, really isolating important targets. Of course, After Dark as well with the Netherrealm, saving Moji in time before he got completely destroyed by Aran and Yeheskill. They almost got the kill on the Witty, but still getting the objective and a second kill over. This is gonna help them with the momentum, right? Now they can focus a bit more resources in helping to get Xiao back into the game.
Yeah, speaking of momentum, you've got a lot of early game rotations down on that gold lane. And Aaron Shiki already starting the early rotations. I think they're giving up that mid side for Aaron Shiki, try to get his core item spikes a little bit earlier. Hunter Strike already built up by Xiao, so he does have a little bit of damage to go, but he might be a little bit tricky to get into just because the turret is up. Right now, Papa Supermassive has the gold advantage, just 500, but it is enough for them to just hold their ground for now. This could have gone way worse for Papa Supermassive, but the fact that they're in the lead for now with 2 kills just solidifies that, hey, we learned from our mistake yesterday and we're here to play.
And Wasa rushing the Thunderbelt as well, because now have the opportunity to start stacking up the Thunderbelt as much as possible into Hilda. No one's going to win the 1v1 anyway, so you might as well use Hilda as a battery to do so. Papa Supermassive again, presence mid.
Ooh! You got to throw on to Fabian. You got Witty sacrificing himself for that one. You got 3 members of Papa Supermassive creating that death ball. And Team Liquid unable to find an angle to take that death ball apart for now. As Team Liquid ID scrambling 0 kills to 3.
That engage was impressive, but Fabian's reaction was inhuman. He blazed surge right at the end of the toss to survive.
Oh, yet another fist crack. Aran getting pulled back, locked up. He will be able to pounce away, get a little bit of healing and regen in order to fight that turtle. You got 4 members right there. Wasa goes straight for Fabian, locked up from that backline. Though Witty tries to take on Moji down low. Xiao will finish up that job. Netherrealm already popped up. Aran falls down, so does Wasa though. But Moji and Fabian still alive. Both don't have their retribution as of now, and I think it was Team Liquid ID who actually solidified that turtle take.
Yeah, definitely a win for TLID because they got the turtle, but they want to go for more.
Moji already bouncing in. Zaman Force already popped up. That's a lot of damage from Moji. They gotta watch their backs though.
Holy cow. Cell ran out of energy because he tried to use the Depth Sonata to move on forward a little bit. If they had one extra shot, I think that would have been Aaron Shiki going down for sure with all that shockwave damage coming in from Moji. Either way, good attempt for Papara Supermassive, but TLID able to weather the storm, and now this, I would say, Shiros, like we're almost 6 minutes in, this is an even game. There's no big lead for either team.
No big lead, but Papara Supermassive does have more kills, but this doesn't translate to the objectives. You got to conceal play. Witty throws down the way of the dragon down into the Feather Airstrike, but you get the rest of the Nether Realm coming in. The Goon Squad is here to protect that hero, and they're here to play. Bloodsvet still kept alive for now.
Once more After Dark saves his teammate. Wasa didn't have the flicker, so couldn't get a longer range Fizzcrack, but it's a small price to pay. While that was happening, Moji has been on the bottom side of the map for a long time, so Fabian is just taking the liberty to clear topside jungle, invade topside jungle, take top wave to generate a bit of that net worth lead. Something that Papara Supermassive have been struggling with is that side wave, right? The movement they like to play together as 5, and teams are exploiting that.
Yeah. Come to think of it, Papara Supermassive, super aggressive, super gung-ho. Here comes Bloodspet, trying to get a throw, misses it. Aran tries to go in for the re-engage. Bloodspet taking down low. Zaman Force already popped up. Aaron Shiki, a lot of damage down. The Predator Airstrike will not connect onto Bloodspet. Trance is out of there. Aran is deep in enemy territory, getting chased down by After Dark, and Wasa will be able to ditch and restore. Get that reset as the turtle spawns up yet again. The last turtle of the game. It's Papara Supermassive ramping up the aggression. You can't take them down when they're 5.
3 flickers out for Papara Supermassive. It's a miracle that no one went down. I was sure the Cell was gonna die when Witty got that kick onto him from the back. So all things considered, this is good news for Papara Supermassive, right? They didn't lose anyone. They can contest the turtle if they want to, but it seems like they are going to let TLID take it. They realize that it's just not worth the effort. Purify out from After Dark thanks to Yahescu.
Yeah, he'll be safe, but Witty taking a little bit of damage from Bloodspet, finding that angle. Xiao's right here as well. The Rhapsody will take him out as well. Witty goes down. You got the Nether Realm already popped up, but here comes Liquid ID. Tries to go for that re-engage. A lot of damage coming through. There's no second life for the rest. Papara Supermassive, but Moji has that damage to take down yet another one. Papara Supermassive taking down team fights after team fights, but it's still in the mid game. Seeping to 8 minutes. Papara Supermassive, we're in late game territory now. They have to be remembered to watch that side waves. You win games through objectives.
It's a mini shutdown given over to TLID thanks to Bloodspet getting killed off, but still, look at this replay, right? This Nether Realm from After Dark came in at the very last second, and even though Bloodspet ended up going down, it forced Liquid ID to commit extra resources just to confirm the kill, and it ended up causing the death of Aaron Shiki right in the epicenter of the Moji shockwave. So I mean, Papara Supermassive, they're doing things right. It's still an even game so far. This is the most impressive I've seen from Papara Supermassive.
Yeah, I can't agree more. It's always at this point where Papara Supermassive tries to falls and crumbles, but look at their sideways. They're sending Moji, and they're learning from their mistakes. They're going and take down the T1 down on the top side, and then the rest of the team are hunkering down and focusing their fire onto the loose members, trying to go for that pickoff. The concealed play already popped up. Witty's back in action. Aran is mid. He will take down Xiao, but able to pop that flicker to get out of the way as they save that T2 bottom side from falling.
And now we see a bit of that Papara Supermassive flavor, right? Something that I hope that doesn't happen as much. You gotta start checking the map. You like running through the river like that when you don't have vision on enemy heroes is always very dangerous. Like Excel almost got solo killed by Aran. I think if Aran had a Blade of Hepsi, that's gonna be his death. And this is just an anti-Kuras Hilda with a concussive blast. So Papara Supermassive needs to be a lot more careful in these bushes because Liquid ID, they're always first to take control. So you need someone to open up the map, and sadly, it has to be either Wasa or Bloodspet.
Yeah, these small little turret takes are really extending the lead for TLID. But now, here's where things get interesting. Lord's already spawned up. Papara Supermassive likes that team fights. They're going to try to get Witty, but on that mid side, though, Bloodspet in a spot of bother, but they're target prioritizing onto Moji. Will take him out, but not on his legs. The Nether Realm has anything to say about it. Eventually, he falls by the hands of Fabian, but in the mid, he falls as well. No junglers for both teams as the Lord already spawned up. 2 members down for TLID. Papara Supermassive will be able to blitz this down. They've got Xiao, though, but Aaron Shiki has to force that retreat. He's already less than half health.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, After Dark is keeping Papra Supermassive even in these fights. His Nether Realms have been sublime. He's the reason why Papra Supermassive even got these kind of exchanges.
Oh, they're not going for it though. Eroshiki almost falls, but Witty was there to back him up. Ultimately though, Papra Supermassive actually won out on that trade. They sacrificed their roam just for that Lord, and now they do buy themselves a little bit more time before that Lord comes out. And so they might be able to take down more objectives, try to clear at least the mid lane turret that will give them a lot more opportunity, a lot more dynamics and dimensions for team fights that they like to take.
After Dark is going to continue to be a problem. I think the purple buff did get stolen, but again, After Dark, this Nether Realm timing, it's great. Every time TLID thought they were going to get a confirmed kill, After Dark swoops in, protects his team for another 3 extra seconds, and causes Liquid ID to commit resources that they otherwise would have been able to use for other things, you know? So Fabian's going to deal with that bottom wave. Top holy defense is going to blow up. The Lord didn't get a charge. That's an important thing, because that would be more damage to the inhibitor. Either way, Papra Supermassive, despite getting that, the Lord and all that, they still are not a hit.
This nice triangulation tries their very best to take down this T1 mid side to buy themselves a little bit more time, but the bottom side's already pushing in. So good call by Fabian. Everyone's coagulating around that Lord, and Papra Supermassive again with the side lane pressure. They just can't seem to find that push.
And they don't have a trap that enables them to do so, right? It's so much easier for Liquid ID to play side lanes than Papra Supermassive.
Oh, target locked onto Witty, able to Shunpo to safety. But they burned a conceal as well as an ultimate from that Jawhead. They don't know where Eroshiki is. We'll be able to recall out of there.
Just look at the map, Churros. I mean, this one needs to be brought to attention, because every single time, Liquid ID, they know that Papra Supermassive cannot play the sideways. At least they are not the best at dealing with it. So every time they see Papra Supermassive on the map, Witty says, hey guys, side lanes are open. Eroshiki takes one side, Fabian takes the other, and then Aran just starts running into the jungle to take a space. So there's nowhere safe. Papra Supermassive, they're being put under the microscope. They're getting CCTV'd by TLID every single step of the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard if you're Papra Supermassive, because you, like you said, who can you send to take control of that sideways? You send Cell, then he'll get bursted down and picked off. If you send Moji, then you lose out on your objective takes. But taking a little itemizations, this is seeping into that late game. What are your thoughts on this?
I think this late game is going to be a test. Like Eroshiki has to die, and not just that, with the damage that Yehescu is building up right now, he's also a big threat, right? Because Papra Supermassive, as much as you have a second life, the only reason that they've been, going even in these fights is After Dark with the clutch Nether Realm timing. That can be negated if Yehescu just blows up your health bar and forcing it out early. So now, Liquid ID have more than enough damage to stiff arm Papra Supermassive, and it's up to Papra Supermassive, it's up to Blossfed or Wasa to get that engaged. I think Wasa has a lot more value with that flicker fist crack, like what we saw yesterday from Luke. He might have to look for some sort of the play of that magnitude to make it work.
Yeah, I like that Papra Supermassive are trying to play cross map as well as TLID. Fabian is still right there. He doesn't really care about that Lord. Witty's right there to give a little bit of intel and recon for the rest of Papra Supermassive. As long as they go for a team fight, Fabian would be able to find a nice little flank. But oh man, Blossfed in the midst of all of it. Another round will be able to keep him alive for now. But there's another one. Moji! A lot of damage coming in from that Lucas, unleashing the beast though. Fabian goes down as well. A double for Moji. What was that damage? But it's still going on strong. Eroshiki's not going out without a fight. One more hit. Moji might be able to go down. Eroshiki chases him out. And Ron blocks up all entrance. Bots the immortality, the Winter Crown in the night time. A Shell back in. Locked in by that fist crack. Eroshiki wants to go for it. For a fight as well. It's chased down by 3, but Shell taking a little bit too much damage. Same Force popped in yet again as Wasa tries to finish up that job. They can't. It's Eroshiki, the untouchable. He is going in too strong. He's too painful. How do you deal with that?
Just name me another hero that can do what Eroshiki did just now on that Harem. No other hero has the capacity and the resources to do something like that. The goal laner shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's why Harem is so strong. And now Lord Take is Papra Supermassive trying to blitz it down, and they should be able to get it.
Yeah. Try to go for it. Fabian's not right there. Xiao actually takes down
the
that
top.
last hit. The lure goes to them. The
Hey,
fist
roll.
strike into that wall. Spot Rush Supermassive. They're taking down two. They've got the manpower advantage. Moji is going in for that charge. No more Yoshiki. No more Witty. Only Fabian around and Reheskill back down there. They're losing out on that team fight. But Papa Supermassive taking on the lead. They have to manage that sideways. That's going to be their Achilles heel.
Give him the baklava, dude. Papara Supermassive with two back-to-back good plays. First of all, Bloodsfat. You see that single target, another round from After Dark to protect Bloodsfat. He's forced out the Purify on Aaron Shiki. And you thought the fight was over, but again, it forced an overcommitment. They killed off Fabian. Thanks to that, Bloodsfat sacrificed himself. The fight extends. They get the Lord. And Bloodsfat finds the toss onto Aaron Shiki because he doesn't have Purify. And now he's going to look for more. They need to get an advantage. Something out of this Lord. And they find the
Heskill!
Oh!
He just decimated, annihilated, burst that down. Xiao wants to go in for another fight. It's Aaron Shiki dashes around. Will take down After Dark though. But Fabian's next on the chopping block. Moji will secure that one. There's two members down from side of TLID. Makes that three. It's a rod falls as well. This might be it. TLID, they crumble and fall under the super massive death ball.
Aaron Shiki trying his best to defend this. There is a chance though, but they're going to try and burst them down.
Might be able to do it, no minions. But they're target focusing on that base. Papa Supermassive against all odds takes down TLID in a surprising victory.